In the headlines, financial resilience, a key target of policies in the 2020-2021 national budget. COVID-19 pandemic has negative impact on IOM's fight against human trafficking. And Dominicans being encouraged to step up participation in emancipation celebrations already curtailed by the COVID-19 pandemic. I am Andrea Louis with the Channel 5 News, back with the details after this.
Avec flow, gagner l'argent, on partit l'argent avec flow. Gagner l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec flow. Animez on top up, sign up, quittez yo, et vite joindre flow. It only gets better with flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Are you still washing your hands regularly, wearing your mask in public, and practicing social distancing? 0 cases does not mean COVID-free. Stay home if you're not well to keep others from getting sick. Continue to avoid crowds in public spaces. Always keep your guard up. We're still fighting this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, Opposition Senator Ernie John Finn has raised concern over the condition of feeder roads and other concerns of farmers in the Castlereagh constituency. John Finn was making her contribution to the debate on the 2020-2021 national budget.
Farmers in my constituency are bewildered. The feeder roads, Mr. Speaker, most of them are abandoned. We have the Richmond feeder road. We have the Fohunt feeder road. We have the Jones Hill feeder road. These roads are abandoned. All the others are in deplorable conditions. Vehicles cannot move there. Farmers have to pay from the farm to pay people to carry down their produce to where to the main road. This needs to be given some attention. The Trantor Road is also almost impassable. Farmers need roads in order to access their farms and increase production.
John Finn expressed hope that farmers would also be provided access to markets.
The irrigation system on the Castlereagh stretch has not been touched. Mr. Speaker, some farmers took loans to rehabilitate their plantations, their farms after Maria. And the intense heat this past days, this past month, killed almost all the crops. Had the irrigation system been there, they would have some relief. The irrigation system is essential to production on the Castlereagh stretch. I make a plea on behalf of the farmers in my constituency to reinstate the irrigation system.
In more top stories, Dominicans being encouraged to play their part in bringing to life Emancipation Celebrations 2020. Julian Morris tells us more.
The week of activities officially got underway on Sunday with a church service in Granby and will end on Saturday with an address by the Minister for Culture and a drumming and ballet presentation to be carried on the Cultural Division's Facebook page. Chief Cultural Officer Raymond Lawrence says though the events have been curtailed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Dominicans are being encouraged to participate in the celebrations in a safe manner.
We too have to be vigilant and try to avoid circumstances where people's health can be endangered. In other words, we have to adapt to the times and the circumstances. So there are some activities where public can physically take place. And of course, we want to encourage not just maybe spontaneous, if you have some drummers in the community, you know, some people who dance ballet, they can maybe do some small, you know, spontaneous things where it's not, you wouldn't have a large crowd, let's say, for a big show, but people passing would hear the drums, they would see some dance or something like that.
Friday, 31st July will mark the Emancipation Dress Day, which all Dominicans are being encouraged to observe and participate in.
On Friday, the 31st of July, which is the last Friday of July, we're asking people to dress up, you know, embrace our identity as Dominican people and people of African, most of us of African heritage. So people can wear both African wear and Creole wear. That's for emancipation on that Friday. So whether you're just going to do business as usual in town, whether you're going to the market, whether you're just out checking on some stuff or whatever, everybody can dress up in some form of Creole wear or African wear. So that's on Friday, July the 31st.
This year's emancipation activities are being celebrated under the theme, Giving Thanks, Building Hope, and Celebrating Possibilities.
We just felt that even coming out of, emerging out of this COVID, you know, we just have to thank God and thank all the, like the health sector, all the people who've played an important role in helping to control and manage this COVID-19 situation in Dominic. And of course, building hope, you want people to be hopeful. And celebrating possibilities, I think now we have to look at all the possibilities ahead of us and see what is it we can work on and try to work towards.
In more developments, building financial resilience, one of the targets of policies included in the 2020-2021 national budget. The Prime Minister says management of government finances has not been easy in light of continuing climatic and global economic shocks.
Financing gaps have to date been managed at sustainable debt levels and without imposing any additional tax burden on the people of Dominica. The salaries of public officers have not been affected. No one was sent home or no one has been sent home. And we serviced our debt, as I said, on time, Mr. Speaker. In order to maintain this position and ensure that these shocks do not result in derailing the country's fiscal position, government has decided to implement a number of additional policies to enhance public finance management and maintain sustainable debt levels to ensure financial resilience.
A disaster resilience strategy was recently developed with technical assistance from the IMF. The Prime Minister says it is government's intention to attach that strategy to the Climate Resilience and Recovery Plan, which was published in May 2020.
That plan is built on 3 pillars. Pillar 1, structural resilience. Pillar 2, financial resilience. Pillar 3, post-disaster resilience. Mr. Speaker, to achieve financial resilience, more robust and up-to-date public finance management legislation is required. With the support of the Caribbean Regional Technical Assistance Center, CARTAC, a new public finance management bill has been drafted and is being reviewed. Government has also decided to implement a number of fiscal rules which will set the parameters within which it operates in areas such as debt, primary balance, and expenditure. Special provisions will be made for disasters and unforeseen events. Mr. Speaker, these rules are being finalized, and it is government's intention to seek feedback from the public before taking them to Parliament for approval, hopefully by September 2020.
Also in September, government will present a new public procurement bill to Parliament.
The bill seeks to modernize public procurement, underpinned by principles of integrity, accountability, transparency, and attaining the best value for money. Once enacted, it will replace the Public Procurement and Contract Administration Act No. 11 of 2012. The draft bill will be published by the second week in August to allow government to incorporate feedback from the general public before presentation to Parliament. The new bill was drafted with the assistance of the European Union and the World Bank and has received positive feedback from stakeholders and our development partners. Mr. Speaker, financial resilience cannot be viewed solely from the government's perspective. Every resident must play his or her part in ensuring their own financial resilience.
You are watching the Channel 5 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
Giving away $30,000 in cash, 2 bags of money plus a grand every Friday.
We're flowing better every day, and now we're making parties great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 or more.
Sign up.
Just switch the flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you want to win cash galore.
We flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Are you still washing your hands regularly, wearing your mask in public, and practicing social distancing? 0 cases does not mean COVID-free. Stay home if you're not well to keep others from getting sick. Continue to avoid crowds in public spaces. Always keep your guard up. We're still fighting this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Welcome back. The COVID-19 pandemic having a negative impact on the fight against human trafficking. Julian Morris tells us why.
Dominica has joined the international community in observing World Day Against Trafficking of Persons on Thursday. This year marks the 20th anniversary of the UN Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime and its historical protocol to prevent, suppress and punish the trafficking in persons, especially women and children. Deputy Director General of the International Organization on Migration, IOM, Laura Thompson, says the restrictions associated with the pandemic have further compounded the organization's work on human trafficking.
As we embark upon a new decade, the world is now confronted with perhaps our biggest challenge to counter trafficking, that of a pandemic that has in addition brought severe restrictions to mobility, impacted livelihoods, and limited access to vulnerable people. COVID-19 has brought devastating impact upon the household security and health of billions of people all over the world, which inevitably heightens vulnerability and risk of exploitation, whether it is job seekers taking hazardous journeys, families relying on child labor for survival, or the marriage of young daughters in a desperate attempt to relieve economic strain.
Thomas says the IOM continues to deepen its relations with its numerous partners to help curb the occurrence of human trafficking.
We have learned, as have governments, that it is imperative to partner with the private sector, trade unions, supply chain auditors, and recruitment agencies to put in place practices to reduce the risks of trafficking and exploitation. IOM was implementing counter-trafficking interventions in accordance with human rights principles long before the Palermo Protocol gave us the clearly defined parameters that we know today.
The IOM called on global citizens to play their part in ending human trafficking as it continues to adopt the changing environment to remain effective in the fight against human trafficking.
Now, as we have always done, the anti-trafficking community must evolve and adapt to this new crisis, finding innovative ways to identify trends, to screen for vulnerabilities, to support states while advocating for human rights and the prevention of abuse, and to seek safe and viable options for those who will remain on the move. Let's move into this direction together, as united we are strong.
Dominica is battling its own war with human trafficking, as just last month, the Minister for National Security, Reuben Blackmore, acknowledged the human rights of Haitian nationals living in Dominica are being violated through human trafficking and vowed to bring the perpetrators to justice.
Prime Minister Scarrett says pursuing the digital transformation of the economy presents a golden opportunity for the country's young people. In his budget address on Tuesday, the Prime Minister noted that the digital economy has been identified as one of several key components of a dynamic Dominica where technology drives everyday living. Mr. Scarrett believes this is an opportunity for the young people to lead the process in the digital transformation of the economy for the future.
This policy was clearly articulated in the Labour Party manifesto, and our seriousness was manifested in the creation of a ministerial portfolio, which specifically focused on the digital economy. We immediately embarked on efforts to secure the necessary financing to help us achieve our objectives. In less than 6 months of this new government taking office, we have secured $75 million to help finance this transformation of our economy. I shall leave the articulation of the details of this progressive and innovative initiative to the minister responsible for the digital economy to expound upon. But suffice it to say that this is a tremendous show of concern for and confidence in our young people, Mr. Speaker. As I said earlier, this $75 million being invested in the youth to assure them, especially those now at university and other schools, of increasing opportunities for them in this emerging economy. Mr. Speaker, this will complement the complete upgrade of government's telecommunications infrastructure and network that began last year.
And just 1 day to go as the deadline to apply for the first ever Work Online Dominica program draws nearer. This pilot project is being spearheaded by the government of Dominica through the Ministry of Digital Economy with support from IsraAid and UNDP. The aim of this project is to position Dominican youth to benefit financially and otherwise from the world of online work. Digital skills specialist with the Work Online Dominica project, Clementine Afana, says online work can be very profitable for youth. She notes, however, the fact that online work is not widely publicized in Dominica, there may be some level of resilience to applying for the project.
A lot of people in Dominica are not on board of this trend because they don't realize that it's something that is possible in the Caribbean. Maybe they don't know people from the Caribbean who have successfully worked online. So because they haven't seen that representation, they tend to feel like, this is not something that is applicable for us. In addition to that, they tend to believe that a lot of the online jobs that are out there are for other people who are not from the Caribbean, mostly in the Europe and USA. They even believe that they don't have what it takes to do it. And that is why this program, this Work Online program, is really, really amazing, because we're going to show you how you can identify the skills that you have to also make you competitive for the online marketplace.
The skills specialist says she is impressed thus far with the level of applications.
It's been amazing. I think that we've had a lot more applications than we were expecting to get, and that is a positive sign. It tells us that the people of Dominica are interested in, pushing themselves forward, finding alternative sources of income, and we love that. Applications are really, really competitive, but if you believe that this is something for you, you should definitely apply. However, when submitting your applications, make sure that you send the best version of what you want to send, because those are the parameters that we're going to use to evaluate who gets in the program.
The deadline for registering is 31st July. Interested individuals can visit www.workonlinedominica.org to apply.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Are you still washing your hands regularly, wearing your mask in public, and practicing social distancing? 0 cases does not mean COVID-free. Stay home if you're not well to keep others from getting sick. Continue to avoid crowds in public spaces. Always keep your guard up. We're still fighting this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
With Flow, win a bag of money, cash out, get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
Yo, check this. Flow is giving away $30,000 in cash.
Oh, yeah.
2 bags of money plus $1,000 every Friday.
With Flow is better every day, and now we're making parties great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 or more.
Sign up.
Just switch to Flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you wanna win cash galore.
With Flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
To end the news, the headlines again. Financial resilience, a key target of policies in the 2020-2021 national budget. COVID-19 pandemic has negative impact on IOM's fight against human trafficking. And Dominicans being encouraged to step up participation in emancipation celebrations already curtailed by the COVID-19 pandemic. Feel free to access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Andrea Louis. And to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Join us tomorrow.